there are no errors in original translations.
Yeah.
That's the way it was written. It's when we take it from that to Latin, take it from that to Greek, take it from that to English, where we start to get our would-be errors.
Yeah, we do have to get ahead pretty quick.
No, that's understandable.
Yeah, but you're right. There's a lot. There's a lot we can talk about.
So let's. What time would you want? Let's kind of get that game plan, because obviously what we want to do is, or at least what I would like to do. If you want to go down a different road, we can set that up now. But I would like to focus on who Christ was. What did he claim to do? What did he claim to be? It needs to be, in my opinion, Christ-centered, Christ-focused. And I would also ask again that in that process, that if you claim to have him as your personal Lord and Savior, and you don't talk to him, I question how he can be your personal. I can understand that he is your Savior, but a general Savior is not a personal Savior. Would you agree? I mean, that's a general, broad term, but if somebody came to save the world, which Christ did, okay, but if he's your personal Savior, you need to have a personal relationship like I do with my wife. And if you don't talk to him, how can that be possible?
Well, and that's true. I think, and I know that I have a personal relationship with Christ. I know that. And, I don't know how necessarily I can explain that to you, whether you believe me, but I know that I do.
Well, I mean, I understand, because, like I said, we've been to Utah.
Yeah.
I haven't been immersed in that culture such as you have.
Yeah.
But in that same context, if that's the only culture you're accustomed to, then if that's the only, and I don't want to use the word bubble, because that's a really bad term, but if that's all you know, there's a lot bigger picture.
Yeah, and I'll let you know right now, that's not
okay.
what I know.
Okay.
And there is a bubble in Utah. There very much is.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, a lot of people are in that bubble. Me personally, I wasn't part of this church for a long time. And apparently now I am.
Were you? Because I'm familiar with a lot of your terms. Are you born under the covenant or no?
I am born under the covenant. However, there's a lot of people that are born under the covenant and have no idea anything about the church.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that aspect, yes, I was born in the covenant. I was baptized when I was 8, and shortly after that, nothing. Until pretty close to when I came on my mission. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We can definitely set up another time to come by and talk about that stuff. That's fine. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that. I do have one last thought that I'm going to leave, and you can kind of think about it.
Sure.
It actually comes from Moroni chapter 7. If you want to open up to it real quick.
Can you hand me mine, please?
Mm-hmm.
It's Moroni 7:13.
Do you want some help?
Yes, please. I love this one.
It's in the very back.
There you go.
You weren't. No offense.
Okay.
So it's verse 13. Will one of you read that?
But beholdeth that which is of God, inventeth and
Inviteth. Inviteth and enticeth.
Enticeth, okay. To do good continually. Wherefore, everything which inviteth and intendeth to do good, and to love God, and to serve Him, is inspired of God.
That's something I believe very true.
Okay.
If a book claims to be God-centered, Christ-centered, and doesn't teach Christ, there's a big red flag.
Well, that's where our next meeting, we need to figure out who Christ is.
Yeah.
Because from what I take the LDS have a different definition of him than Christianity as a whole. Agree or disagree? Jehovah's Witnesses have a different definition of who he is. Muslims have a different definition of who he is. So what definition of Christ is the correct one?
That's a good point. You know, I've gone through quite a bit of study. Probably not as in depth as you, but I've gone through quite a bit of study. And you know, one thing that I know is that very literally, I try to be as close to Christ. You know, in any description as you want to give, I am as close to Christ as I possibly can be in life. I know that because I'm the one doing it. I'm trying to do that. And you know, one thing that I've talked to a lot of people about, and they say, well, let's figure this out, let's figure that. One thing I would ask is to look at it and say, what in the LDS teachings contradicts me coming as close to Christ as somebody in a Christian world? In that,
I could give you a few, but we'd be here a while.
okay. So, and that's something that I would like to hear.
Okay.
Because you know that's definitely something I like to hear.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can come back. We'll define Christ.
What time would you like to do that?
We, like I said, when you guys came the first time, his schedule is so, like, it's set, basically. His days off are Sundays and Mondays.
Okay.
Obviously, Sundays are probably out the
Sundays
window.
are probably out the window for you guys, but
I can come on Sundays.
can you? Okay.
Yeah, Sunday evenings. We're in
Um,
church because we're missionaries. We're in church like almost all day.
well, yeah.
Well, let's shoot for Monday because usually Monday's the more relaxed day of the two.
Okay.
I don't know what Mondays look like for you, gentlemen.
Next Monday.
They're open.
Well, it didn't have to be. I mean,
Oh.
I don't know your guys' schedule. I mean, you tell me.
I don't know. Transfers are coming up this next week, so it's kind of up in the air of what, if we're going to be packing or not, depending on that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have any set appointments, so the evening should be open.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll
Usually with transfers, either one of them goes or both of them go.
We'll probably
Right?
stay. We'll
Am I
probably
right?
stay.
Okay.
We'll probably stay. We both just recently got it.
Okay.
This is both of us.
I have friends that are women, so that's
Yeah.
kind of how I know.
So let's shoot for. You want to shoot for next Monday?
Yeah.
Then let's just plan it. Well, again, what time works good
Do
for
you guys want to do? Do you guys want to come for dinner next time around?
Yeah, by all means. If you guys want to come for dinner, we can sit down and we can even eat before we get into anything.
Sounds good to me.
I mean, no sense in you guys
Having
having to
not
stuff
eaten.
yourself beforehand and not worry about it. I mean, what do you guys like to eat?
I'm not too picky actually.
What about
You
you?
guys, I mean, you could probably smell the spaghetti we had. I mean,
Sounds good.
um,
That was his homemade, so.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I make my own spaghetti. So.
Sweet. Did you do like the noodles and everything?
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Well,
I
not
just-
make
That's
the
kinda-
noodles,
That's kind of a talent.
but
Yeah.
the
No.
sauce is completely
yeah.
homemade.
Just,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, yeah.
Okay.
But the sauce, complete. No jarred stuff.
Yeah.
None, yeah.
So if you like spaghetti, I can make it again next week. If you want tacos, we can do tacos.
Yeah. Spaghetti.
Okay.
I like spaghetti a lot.
I'll have to put that on the grocery list. Remind me.
No problem.
I don't have any left.
Growing up, my best friend was Italian, and like his grandpa's first generation.
Hey, you know what? I am all for criticism, good or bad.
Okay. All right.
So,
Okay.
do we want to set up next Monday around the same time, around 6?
Well, what time do you guys like to eat?
Yeah.
That
Should
might
be
be-
around 5.
Okay, well, we can. You want? How about we eat dinner at 5, and then when we're done eating, we can start.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
And next time around, I'll get someone to return me because I'm really kind of good here. So.
So we'll focus on who was Christ, what he taught, and the definitions that we feel apply to him. It'll all be Christ-centered. Because that, like I said, do you not agree that if it's not for Christ, then
Oh, everything is Christ. Everything is.
so let's focus on that.
Yeah.
And because we can talk about doctrinal differences till we're blue in the face. We got, I don't know how much time. And even like I said, if you guys do go home, You're more than welcome to have my cell phone number. I can even give you my Skype name, and we can Skype.
We actually called before we came over the first time, and it said it was Ephesians.
Yeah, we work a little bit with Ephesians too. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. That's cool.
So.
I didn't even notice that they called. We might have not been home.
So yeah,
it was just kind of before we came over.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I was home that day. That was weird. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so like I said, what we do is like I said, we are very Bible-based believers, and I study, and I really have a lot of questions
Yeah.
that I have tried to talk to certain people, and this is what blows me away. As you guys aren't the first members of the LDS Church I've talked to,
Yeah.
I can get different answers from the Mormons.
Well, and there's going to be a lot of Mormons that have no idea what they're talking about.
Which is
why we, I mean.
Well, I'm not saying that you guys claim to know what you're talking about.
And I'll tell you what. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to study exactly the things we talked about tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to prepare for our next lesson.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah. Study, like I said, study, and like I say, if at all possible, would you be open? I understand you guys are extremely, extremely limited.
Yeah.
But if I could get my hands on anything that refers to the original Greek, would you be willing to look at it?
I wouldn't even be able to read it, but I would try.
Well, no, I'm not talking about. I understand you can't read Greek.
Like Greek.
Okay, but if like something that refers to, like let me give John 1:1 for example.
Yeah.
In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God. There's the word theos and logos. Okay, you understand what I'm talking about? You may have heard those terms before.
I have.
Okay, so or logos, I think is what it's pronounced. But either way, something that refers to that. Would you be willing to look at that? Right. Honestly, I understand you don't have any clue what the Greek means.
Yeah, and I would, but unless I knew how to read Greek, I don't know that I would take the translation to be so. You see what I'm saying?
Well, and I can glance at it, whatever the case may be. This is a book that I've been going through.
And, I mean, you're welcome to even look at. This is our church that we attend currently has a Bible college. And I was taking some courses there. Like I said, I'm really big on studying. If you haven't
So
figured
what
that out.
she goes to school for?
Like I said, I don't take what anybody says as agreement, as the law. Okay, I'm going to say, well, you claim this. Why do you claim this? Okay, and I even like to go a step further than that. If you claim this, and this is why you claim this, where does this come from? Okay, okay, and that's again where a lot of my questions on the authenticity behind the Book of Mormon come in. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Is that for one, you can't verify it, and everything hinges on the words of Joseph Smith. Everything. And to me, Christ is the only thing worthy of praise. Worthy of any kind of praise, in my opinion. And where I start to, again, I know there are certain things in other denominations. I'm just, because you're here, I'm going to bring this up to you.
Yeah.
There are hymnals even talking about praise to the man.
Oh, yeah, the hymn praise to the man.
Okay. That to me, just because of what I studied, is an irritant. I'm not saying that. You see where that it's a really gray area on why are you saying praise to the man when it's very clear Christ is the only thing worthy of praise. And I understand that you don't worship him. I'm not claiming that by any stretch of the means.
Yeah.
I know you don't, but you do revere him.
We do revere him.
Okay. And because of that, you sing praise to him in a hymnal. And that, to me, raises a red flag.
Yeah. Have you read that hymn?
I have. It's been a while, but
yeah,
I couldn't quote you the lyrics. But
I can parts.
Yeah.
But
I've heard it so many times. I can.
But I mean, obviously,